In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to design a set of gears in Fusion 360 that's suitable for 3D printing. Doesn't take long, and you don't have to be an expert at modeling in Fusion 360 to follow along and still get great results for your next mechanical 3D project. This video is sponsored by PCB Way. Let's jump into Fusion 360 and get started. I'm Bill, and this is Pushing Plastic. Drawing gears in Fusion could not be easier if we tried. What we're going to do is come up here and click on Utilities. We're going right to the add-ins. And if you've never run it before, you'll have to go to the add-ins tab and scroll down to the bottom and make sure it's loaded and run it. There's two of them there. It's the same program, just two different programming languages. If you have it, you can go to Scripts and click on Spur Gear, either one, and click Run. The first thing we're hit with is this awesome dialog box. What we see in here is a standard. For English or metric, we're sticking with metric. The pressure angle I'm going to keep at 20. Your other options are 14 and a half, 25 degrees, or custom. I recommend staying away from custom, unless you're a gear expert. I'm not. The module is pretty cool. That is actually your gear depth. I'm going with 1.5. The next thing is backlash, which is pretty much a tolerance for your gears. I usually go with 0.15 millimeter because I have two gears meshing. Each one gets 0.15 millimeters for a total tolerance of 0.3. That should be plenty. The root fillet radius, that's kind of big. If you look at the bottom here, it's telling us the radius is too large. It's got to be less than 0.8856 in this case. Now, the root fillet radius is where the tooth meets the main body of the gear. So I want to keep that as big as possible. So I go down to what they say it has to be minimum. So I'm going to hit 0.88 and drop the rest of the numbers. That keeps me covered. We're good there. The gear thickness, I just want to go for 5 millimeters in this case. And I'm going to put a hole diameter for the shaft at 10 millimeters. Now go at the bottom here, you'll notice the pitch diameter. I purposely skipped the number of teeth so I can demonstrate this. When I went 52 teeth, and you're going to notice my pitch diameter grows. If I change my module, the tooth height, that's going to affect the pitch diameter as well. So keep that in mind and adjust accordingly. So I'm going to have a pitch diameter for this gear with a module of 1.5 with 52 teeth. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and it's going to think for a second or two, and then it's going to pop a gear right there in the center for us. That's great. The first thing I'm going to do is go back to solid, and I'm going to right click on this gear, and I'm going to move it, and I'm going to start moving it down. And what I want this to move is minus 78 divided by 2. And what that is, that's my pitch diameter divided by 2. And it'll become apparent why in a few minutes here. The next thing I'm going to do is add in my small gear. So again, let's go back to Utilities, Add-ins. We're going to scroll down to Spur Gear, and we're going to click on that and run. The box will have all of the previous settings we had before. The only setting I'm interested in changing in this one is the number of teeth. And I'm going to go with 25. I want my module, my backlash, everything to be the same. And you'll notice our pitch diameter is 37.5. Those numbers are important, that pitch diameter. We'll click OK. And bam, there's our gear. Now what I'm going to do, again, is just like the first gear, I'm going to move that. And I'm going to click on it, right click on it actually, and start dragging. And I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Take your pitch diameter, 0.5, and divide it by 2, because I only want the radius. And there we are. Now when we look at our gears from the front, you can see our gears have this little dotted circle. That is actually the pitch diameter, and you can see that they are actually touching. And that's what we want, but we want our gears to mesh. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to give it a quick turn. I'm going to come in on the small gear. I'm going to hit move copy, and I'm going to switch this to rotate. And it wants to know what my axis is. So I'm going to click right in here on the cylinder. And that's why I went to the side to do that. And I can start turning it. It's -10. I can still see it's not meshing. There we go. With 11, it works pretty good. And when you zoom in, that really has no impact on the final print, though. So don't worry about that. I just do it. Bugs me when I see the gears not meshing. Okay, we have a nice set of gears. Let's give them a base and a shaft to spin on. Okay, what we're going to want to do now is draw a base for these gears to ride on. So what I'm going to do is spin around to the back side again, and I'm going to start a new sketch. I also want to be on that plane, not the gears. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by drawing a circle down here. And I'm going to go 78 plus 5. And the reason 78 plus 5, it's 78 millimeters for our pitch diameter. And I want to give a little bit of extra. And I'm going to do the same thing up here, which is 37.5 plus 5. And there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and, actually, I don't want to finish the sketch. Let's get back in there and do a little bit of editing. I want to turn off my gears just to get them out of the way while we do some more work. I'm going to draw 2 diagonal lines randomly. I'm just going to get them close to where I need them to be. Then I'm going to come in and use a tangent constraint. I'm going to click the lines, and I'm going to click the circles. So I want them to right at the tangent point. Must have missed my line. There we go. And we should have 4 tangent symbols there, and we're good. Now let's start trimming away the garbage that we don't need. Make sure we're on trim. It's the part that you actually want to cut out is where you are clicking. And I see I have a little extra line up here. I'm just going to get rid of that with a delete. Then going back to trimming, I'm going to trim out these sections. I don't need them. I don't want them. All right, there we go. I'm going to hit the finish the sketch. Go back home. I'm going to turn my gears on, and I'm going to use extrude. And what I want to do is look at my arrow direction. I want to make sure that's going away from my gears. So I'm going to go with a -5. And I do not want this set to join. Make sure this is set to new body. Otherwise, it'll fuse itself to the gears. We'll hit OK. And just to make sure, turn off your gears one by one. Great. If the base would have disappeared with one of those gears, then we'd have a problem. So now I'm going to come back in. I'm going to add a shaft for this gear to ride on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to create, and I'm going to project, and I'm just going to click this entire object right there and hit OK. And you'll notice the little purple lines and dots. That's what I'm looking for. Then I have something solid to grab onto that's lined up with everything. Now for my shaft, I'm going with 9.7 in 2 places, and the reason I'm picking 9.7 is I have a shaft hole on my gears of 10 millimeters. Going by with 9.7, it gives me a little bit of tolerance to ride with, and I'm going to go ahead and extrude both of these out. I'm going to go with, let's call it 10 millimeters in this case. Great. And I'm going to add a real quick chamfer to both of them. It just makes it easier to get the gear on. I'm going to make that 1 millimeter. Great. Now, I'm going to show you two different methods for creating a space. The first one is going to be add the spacer to the base. I'm starting a new sketch. I'm going to draw a circle up here. I'm going to draw another one down here for this shaft. And I'm going to add a dimension of 1.5 millimeters. 1.5. And then 1.5, that's plenty. What I don't want is a large area of plastic on plastic. So I'm going to go ahead and make these equal to each other by clicking the equal constraint and clicking the 2 circles. And there we go. I'm going to hit finish, turn this a little bit, and we're going to extrude. I'm going to go extrude here. I want to make sure I get both of those. There we go. Oh, missed my extrude. Okay, so we got our extrusion, and I'm just going to extrude that out at 1 millimeter. And what you can see is we have a nice little spacer for the gear to ride on. But when we turn our gears on, we're going to notice that, well, they're still flat back there. It's not a big deal. They're going to all print separate. But if you want it to look right, what you do is right click on one of the gears, hit move copy, and just drag it out 1 millimeter. Do the same for the other one. I'm going to go move copy, drag it out 1 millimeter. When we look from the side, we're going to notice, bam, there it is. We got a nice little space, and our gears, this whole surface isn't riding on the plastic. Now, I could have easily drawn those on the gear itself just by coming up here, capturing the position, doing a new sketch on the gear, and coming in. I got to draw that there. And for now, I'm going to turn off the base. And I'll add a dimension just like before from here to the inside circle and make that 1.5. And we can finish. Turn it to the side. You can watch what's going on. And actually, I would want this on the other side. This is the side that would be touching the base if we did it this way. And extrude that out 1 millimeter. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same exact thing for this gear. And we'll draw our circle. We're going to put a dimension on of 1.5. We'll finish that sketch out. And we're going to do an extrude there as well. And we'll make that 1 millimeter. So there's two different ways of getting basically the same result. If I was going to, like I said, if I didn't have those spacers already drawn on here, I would flip these gears over and put them there. And what you'll see now is we have 3 different parts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. And I'm just going to call it Gear System. No space, just the way I type for my programming days. And I'm going to export this out as a 3MF file. Works great in Cura. So I'm already set there. I'm going to Gear System 1, and let's go with it. Okay, we're in Cura, and we're going to load our Gear System file. It's a 3MF. And you see it comes off to the side. Not a big deal. When that happens, just hit Edit, reset all model positions, and it'll drop it right in the center for us. We're going to start moving our gears around. And I'll look at the first one, this one here. There it is. I'm going to pull the little one off to the side, and maybe back a little bit. And we'll put our base back on. Now we have everything on the bed plate. Let's go ahead and slice this. And we're going to be looking at 3 hours, 17 minutes, not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and send this to the Ender 5. And while it prints, let me take a minute and tell you about today's sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay is more than printed circuit boards. PCBWay offers CNC machining, 3D printing, and injection molding. Ordering is a breeze on their user-friendly website. While you're visiting their website, enter their 6 project design contest with categories for both electronic and mechanical design. Whether it's prototypes or production runs, PCBWay.com has you covered. As you saw, it didn't take a lot to design and print a set of gears. Let's assemble these parts and see how well we did. Not too bad. They mesh and spin as they should. Nice. I'm happy with these results. I hope you found this information useful and that you can apply these techniques to your own project. If you did, hit that like button and let me know down in the comments. Smash that bell so you'll be alerted to new content in the future. Live your life one layer at a time, and if you haven't done it yet, please consider subscribing.